Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, this is going to be super quick. I'm going to entitle it Jeremiah 5 verse 7. The happy culture in the black church. You know what I mean by happy. Start with a G. You know I can't say the word like I want to say it, but this whole big thing, and it's all over social media with this the pastor bishop rather, T.D. Jakes, and you recently had some years ago the bishop what's his name, Long, damn, I can't think of his Eddie Long, and how you had these individuals that he was dealing with, let's say, that kind of grew up and came out and kind of told on his ass, or did tell on him, and the first thing he did was denied it up and down. The church, of course, or most of the church, some of them I believe left, but a lot of them just stayed, and he said he was pretty much, he gonna be like David against Goliath, and he gonna pick up that rock, and he gonna slay the giant, and he ain't gonna back down, and we gonna go to court, and I'm gonna prove my innocence. And them guys that, were part of that suit to bring the full truth out, they didn't back down, they didn't get scared, and basically he settled. Which we all know what that means. He settled, and so they came out. I believe it was they settled, and they had a gag order. We're gonna give you X amount of money, and remember the dude was a billionaire. All right. So you have this situation. Oh, later he shriveled up like a burnt piece of bacon, and he dropped dead. I had a small hat, tried to put him up there saying that this is King David coming back, showing you who really runs the black church or black churches. Who really runs the black churches? See, that whole church industry, that whole Christianity industry is just that. It's an industry like the hip hop music industry, the boxing world, whatever. The NBA world. You know how much corruption goes on behind the scenes in the NBA? The professional boxing world, the amateur boxing world. Look, I experienced corruption in the boxing world when I was an amateur. I had one fight that the audience booed if I lost. There were certain fights I lost, and I accepted it. Yeah, you got me, brother. There's certain fights that I won that I clearly won, and they gave it to the other guy. But there's corruption pretty much, everywhere. That's why you have to examine yourself. We're not perfect, so we're going to go off. Peter was being a hypocrite in Galatians chapter 2, and the Apostle Paul got on his ass and proved that he was a hypocrite. That didn't mean he was not a man of the Lord. If a brother or a sister or anybody in the truth be taken by fault, ye which are spiritual restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. But anyway, that doesn't happen in the so-called black. I'm not even talking about the Edomite church, the white church. I'm talking about the so-called black church. It's a culture of happyism in the church, and they get them when they're young. There's all kind of videos of different church people, black church people, that are coming out and that have left the church or have become pastors or former moes, and they go into detail as to how this whole culture is an actual culture. You groom them, just like in the hip. You got this thing with P. Diddy. You got P. Diddy and T.D. Jakes. I know he ain't over there trying to turn him to Jesus. He doing his little thing, man. Once people are saying, well, we gotta assume that he's innocent until proven guilty. look, nigga, once a nigga, when I heard this sermon where he said, have you ever been so allowed? Have you ever been so allowed? Right then and there, I said, this is a fucking mo. This dude is a mo. I heard he got two sons. I don't know if they're adopted or his sons. That they're two mo's. So there's going a lot more of them are going to come out. A lot more that's going to come out among the Christian church. And Vocab ain't going to say a goddamn thing about it. Because he's an apologist for the small hats and that fake bullshit ass demonic Christianity, which is not Christianity at all. So in the so-called black church, it's a culture. They groom you when you're young. And they test you to see what way you're going to turn. And if you turn the way they want you to turn, then they become pastors and they groom. They grow up to be grown men. They have children, or children come to church, and they groom them too. There's all kind of wickedness and adultery going on in the black church. Now, I can't point to you because there might be some of them that are actually, sincere. They don't have the truth, though. And it was a big mistake, major mistake that Bishop Nathaniel made when he was going out to them churches. He didn't get not one, and I said this before, he didn't get not one person from any of those Christian churches to say, I'm an Israelite. These brothers talk to me. I see the light. And look, I was with them. I was on their side. I was on the IUIC side. I knew nothing going to come of it, but they were hitting the right scriptures. Yeah, I give them credit. I'll give them credit on that. But if I was around, I said, I ain't going to waste my time going to no motherfucking church because they ain't going to goddamn wake up. They ain't going to wake up. And the reason why they ain't going to wake up because they got their own culture. The women kind of being over the men. A lot of these women, majority of the people that go to church are women. The men that's in the church, for the most part, are led by the woman. So Paul spoke against that. But I'm going to say this, I'm going to read this precept, and I'm going to close, I'm not going to make this long. It's an actual culture, so more of them are going to come out. It's not no random thing, Eddie Long and T.D. Jakes. It's a whole culture. So a lot of these black pastors are nervous now because they might be next. Because what do? They become multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires with the church. They go into the whole church thing. They put the robe on. Holier than thou. But then when they do, what they do is they get with secular. Everything's secular in the church. Hip-hop came out. So hip-hop is secular. The church do Christian hip-hop. They do everything that's in the secular world. And if they say Jesus on top of it a couple of times, it becomes Christian. Now it's Christian rap. The gospel, black gospel, which is black gospel, black music, church music, is accepted by the world. The Grammys, you got a Grammy, category. Grammy, a category for a gospel category. You got people, in the church that are married to people of the world, and they do the worldly thing, but they go to church on Sunday. It's a whole culture, man. There's all kind of adultery going on, all kind of wickedness going on, all kind of moism going on. So I'm gonna end it with this one precept. But like I said, I'm not gonna get long. It says Jeremiah 5 verse 7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me. Where the Most High's children? The majority of them is in the church. And sworn by them that are no gods. They're praying to Esau, Caesar Borgia. See, now of them are saying, no, we believe that Christ is black. But if you have an image of the so-called Christ, it's Caesar Borgia with a jerry curl and a suntan. When I had fed them to the full, the Most High blessed us. Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat. Deuteronomy 32. They then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses, which is the church, the black church and the Edomite church, whatever church, because they're not teaching the truth anyway. It's nothing but a harlot house. What goes on there? Adultery, Moism, all kind of wickedness, greed, worldliness. So this right here, the harlot house is the church. So, like I said, I wouldn't teach nobody in no church unless they kind of came up to me. I wouldn't go stand in front of the church and try to wake them up. There's a spirit on them. There's a demon on them. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Like I said, I wasn't going to make this long. Shalom.